Hello, today we are going to be talking about the United States Supreme Court case that was decided upon. The decision came out last month in March of 2022 concerning the case of United States versus Abu Zubaydah. It is one of two state secrets privilege cases for this term. Um, I'll be talking about this one first because the other case, U.S. versus Fazaga, is the more complicated one. Well, maybe harder to understand for myself. But in this case, we're talking about Abu Zubaydah, who is currently in Guantanamo Bay, and he has been in government custody since the year 2002. So the government, Pakistani officials actually turned him over when they encountered him back in 2002. They turned him over to the United States. The United States believed that Abu Zubaydah was a top official in Al Qaeda, uh, and believed that he had more information in regards to possible future attacks after 9/11. So this case involves Abu Zubaydah's uh, torture detention in Poland around late 2002 and 2000 and the rest of 2003. This has to do with Polish litigation in which Polish prosecutors are trying to prosecute the individuals, the officials, and the contractors involved with the detention site in Poland on behalf of Abu Zubaydah. And so Abu Zubaydah is trying to extract basically from the CIA and from the US government that yes, there was a detention site in Poland, um, and that's what the Polish investigators need. So Zubaydah, what he and his lawyers, what he did was he asked for evidentiary documents, so documents involving, the uh, Polish, basically correspondence, memoranda, documents involving what went on this at this CIA interrogation site, um, and his conditions while he was there, etc. So what the U.S. government is doing is they're implementing the state secrets privilege, which basically is when anything involves a matter of national security, the United States could invoke the state secrets privilege and obstruct any case from revealing information that could be a risk to national security. So that's what's happening here, where the government is saying that, well, we can't help Abu Zubaydah in this case because he's asking for um, information specifically confirming that there was a CIA detention site in Poland that he was subject to. So the government is saying that if that were to be confirmed or denied, but most likely confirmed, um, that if it were to be confirmed, that will deteriorate and harm the relationship between the United States Intelligence Service and the Intelligence Service of Poland, and the U.S.'s relationship with Poland, with these clandestine agreements that they have. So that is their reasoning why they're implementing the state secrets privilege. So what ends up happening is the majority, says, you know what, Abu Zubaydah is asking for these specific things that'll definitely confirm or deny the the um, the the fact that there was this Polish detention site back then. So Zubaydah is also, he wanted to depose two CIA contractors, um, who, let me tell you their names, James Mitchell and John Jessen, who were basically the architects, the creators of the enhanced interrogation program that the CIA used for many alleged terrorists and confirmed terrorists. So Zubaydah was asking to depose these two gentlemen, and the government is saying that because these two gentlemen used to work for us, and anything they might say, whether they do it intentionally or unintentionally, might confirm that there was a CIA site in Poland back then. Um, so the majority said that, okay, the government, um, regardless of the public information that is out there regarding this Polish site, not only regarding the Polish site, but also regarding the techniques that were used against Zubaydah. This public information was the Senate Select Committee on Intelligence. They had a whole report about the torture program. Um, the other this also the European Human Rights Court also gave out a report, basically detailing and saying that, oh yeah, Zubaydah was under custody in a Polish detention site. So they specifically referenced this detention site at that time, and also the torture that had happened there and the human rights abuses that had happened. So there's that. Also, the contractors, Jessen and Mitchell, right, the architects of the enhanced interrogation program, they have also testified about the program in a military commission court setting. So there's that. So this information is widely public, but in this case, the majority said it doesn't matter if the information is public. What matters here is that Zubaydah is asking for specific evidentiary documents that will jeopardize the relationship and the intelligence service, um, compact or agreement between Poland and the United States, and that's why they dismiss the case. Um, so it's interesting because uh, Justice Thomas, he was saying, wait, no, no, no. Like, first of all, we should have much greater deference to the government because they know best. They know best in regards to national security. And even besides that point, he said that Zubaydah didn't show a harsh necessity for these documents. In his opinion, he didn't believe Zubaydah had enough reason to ask for this, right? Um, so that there was that Thomas said, and then Kagan had a concurrence, and and she agreed with most of what the majority said, but what she disagreed on was this case should have been, not dismissed, but remanded down to the lower courts and dealt with in that sense, where Zubaydah could change his evidentiary discovery so that it doesn't involve documents specifically stating Poland and the Polish detention site, where he could just basically ask for the conditions, the techniques that were there, that were made there, etc. So she disagreed with the final judgment of the court. So there's that. and then what do you call it? Gorsuch, Justice Gorsuch, he ends up dissenting, and Sotomayor joins Gorsuch and saying like, "Whoa, whoa, whoa, this is not cool." They're saying that just because the government is gonna, willy nilly say, "Oh, you lose this case because this involves national security." Gorsuch disagrees with that and saying that the court is being way too lenient towards the government, and he is saying that there are steps that you could take. In this case, like there are procedures to like use code names for detention site and kind of like have like protocols to not reveal sensitive information in cases. Also, he was a proponent of in-camera review for a judge in the lower courts to see um, more evidence of why the government thinks that the reveal of this Polish detention site would be a national security risk. He was in favor of in-camera review, and also he was in the oral argument. He pressed the solicitor, the a lawyer on the side of the government. He pressed him and said, "Hey, would you allow Abu Zubaydah to testify in regards to his conditions and the techniques used on him at the CIA detention site to the Polish investigation, to the Polish court case?" Um, and the attorney couldn't specifically give him a straight answer, so he said he would get back to him. Right, his office will get back to him. And in the Gorsuch dissent, he mentioned how the Solicitor General office, right, the lawyer did send him a letter saying they would allow Zubaydah to have a written um, deposition, but that it would have to go under a security review. So what that means is that, well, the government gets to determine what he could and could not say. So like maybe Zubaydah might include something that might be true, but the government can say, okay, we're going to take that out of the deposition. So it's kind of like, not a catch 20. Is it a catch 22? It's a big mess, right? Because it's like, well, you're kind of subverting if it happens to be the truth, you're kind of subverting the truth, right? Or you're dampening the efficiency or the accuracy and the efficiency in regards to Zubaydah's case, right? On his side. Um, so so yeah, Gorsuch had a issue with that where he was like, well, how is this? You know what I mean? Like, well, only after the case is dismissed, the government is allowing this to happen, right? This testimony from Zubaydah himself, um, and he you know says it's not a good idea to dismiss the case entirely because now Zubaydah has to like make a new case that doesn't involve Poland, right? Or the confirmation or denial of a Polish detention site. So that is the case. Um, and going to my own thoughts, I do kind of understand where the government is coming from, because I do believe, like, okay, I get it. There are intelligence services, communications, and friendships, and agreements that need to be preserved. But this information is out there, right? And a lot of time has passed as well. And it's also determined that Zubaydah didn't really know this information that the government thought he knew. Even the contractors, right? The architects of the enhanced interrogation said that Zubaydah didn't end up knowing anything after we, uh, conducted the interrogation, right? So yeah, so I understand where the government is coming from. So I'm kind of torn. So I understand what they're coming from, and I get it, but at the same time, I also agree with Gorsuch and him saying like this needs further, review. Like we can't just easily defer to the government. So yeah, that's United States versus Abu Zubaydah. I hope you learned a thing or two. If you have any questions, comment below and I'll get back to you.